Hello everyone, welcome back to a new YouTube cast. Today we're going to be having a look at a game between, in the top right spawning as the pink Terran player is going to be Liquid Clem, and in the bottom left spawning as the pink Zerg it's going to be Serral. Both players deciding to pick pink. This could be either to torture me or because they have a very weird sense of humor, or probably they just didn't realize. I don't think they actually thought about me at all when picking pink, but I'm glad both of them picked the exact, or almost the same color. I didn't even know that was possible, that there was, I guess, a more fluorescent pink and a lighter pink. But we're here on Pillars of Gold, as we see Serral open up with what seems to me like a pool first. Well, definitely was a pool first. The hatchery just started. And here we have Clem just opening with a standard barracks gas Reaper. Expand will be going into a marine behind this. Clem, very good TVZ at the moment. Definitely one of the best TVZers in all of Europe, and Serral, of course, one of the best ZVTers in the entire world, if not the best. Perhaps only having to allow Rainer above him, because Rainer's TVZ or ZVT recently has been absolutely phenomenal, having a difficult time losing any games. For some people it's hard to win, people like me for example, but for Rainer it seems very difficult to lose the last few weeks, month and a half, I would even say, in the ZVT matchup. Absolutely phenomenal, the way that he plays. Now we see these two links making their way across the map, as Clem should have one marine to deal with it. Usually that's not quite enough though. You're gonna need more than one marine to deal with two links. Reaper decides to turn back home as well after he sees the hatchery timing. He's like, oh, that's weird. Two SCVs being pulled. This is absolutely beautiful by Clem. Anticipation of these two links, and just kind of thwarts them. And adios, stupid Zerglings. Go back home, looking for any critters on the map to kill perhaps, but sadly, as we are all aware, on Pillars of Gold there is no critters. The guy who made this map probably forgot to put them on or something, as I see no other reason as to why they are not here. Third CC coming down before second gas. So this is an extremely greedy build, or greedy, highly economical as I like to call it. But there are some... Oh my god, that was beautiful, Clem. What a dodge there. I really thought it was going to be a difficult time for that Reaper to survive. Reaper is going to come back home, try to deal with these links, and just only a single SCV falling. Now this might sound bad, it's like, well, he lost an SCV and I don't think a single drone went down yet, but that's not quite how the game works usually. So in this case, Serral invested a lot in early speed, and if you get very early gas, usually that means you have less minerals. And the best way to get very good eco is by getting a lot of minerals, because everything that gives you fast economy costs minerals. You need your extractors, drones cost minerals, hatcheries cost minerals, queens cost minerals. So usually the more gas you take earlier on, the worse it is for your economy, which is why very often you see Zerg taking 5 gases at the same time. They want to stay on that one gas as long as possible. Sometimes because they need to get upgrades or some type of tech, they get gases 2 and 3 a bit earlier, but a lot of the time, if you think of ZVP for example, these gases are all taken at the same time once all minerals on the first 3 bases are saturated. So getting that early gas for Serral is gonna just cost him a little bit in eco. For that fast speed. Of course also pool first is worse economically than hatchery first is, so that also factors in there. We see Clem with 4 cars, 6 cars, 8 cars. There you go. Right on my tables. Good job there, Kevin. As 8 cars means there's going to be some type of aggression happening here. Most of the time you want to be fighting queens even. Not with your 4 cars yet, but once all 8 join up together, which should be right about now, as my friend Fatboy Slim once sang. Right here, right now, they should be moving together, and then perhaps they'll try to either run by those queens and try to get some links or a couple of drones, or they'll just straight up fight the queens. We see one queen in a vulnerable location. Where's that Liberator going? Liberator moving into the third base. Spore already in position. Is there a spore in the main? There's a spore in the main. Looks like Serral is absolutely ready for this, and Clem eating 2 big hits of that spore right in the face. And Sally is just looking for an angle, might scan to get a couple of tumors. No, we'll decide not to. Liberator will stay here for now, not going to be able to do much of anything, to be honest. Is Lair done? No, Lair is not done yet, which means this Overlord can't spread his creep on this location. Command center will land and get there in time. Double eBay in the wall. will both provide upgrades and some kind of safety for that natural base. Depot is down and there's only a single marine at home, but seems like these links have different plans. Probably trying to go for a surround here on the Hellions. Here it comes. Good attempt here. Are we going to see a Reaper Grenade? Yes, Reaper Grenade. And here comes a corner. The corners are very good for Hellions, as they can kind of dodge us around and usually get a shot off. So you saw the moment that he went into that corner, into that corner shot, we saw Serral back off with those links. Now he did produce a lot of links. We see 45 links of 58 drones, which means we're going to have a small economical lead here for the Terran, who together with the mules should be able to mine a little bit more. We're seeing Rex 4 and 5 go down here. And now it's going to be interesting to see, are these gases going to be taken? The supply block is going to be quite painful here for Clem. I think it's going to go from supply block into supply block, as only a single depot is building. Armory on the way. And are these gases being taken? 5th gas into 4th CC. Are we seeing 4 gas into 8 racks? A lot of options here for Clem. Now, Pillars of Gold. Okay, yeah, second factory. I was going to say 8 racks hasn't been too popular. So second factory does indicate that we're most likely going to be going into a heavy mine style, which Clem very much loves. He's probably expecting some type of Muta play, as this is very popular at the moment. Lingbane Muta has been the standard for a bit now, but usually with faster Mutalisk we see fast 1-1 here for Serral, and he's actually going into a Hydralisk then, which means that this second factory, if it's going to be used at all, should not be turning into a factory with a reactor. We're going to need double tech labs here for big tank production. Majority of the time, that's what we see. Oh my god, nice micro there by Clem. Re-unloads the marine. See the fort base starting with iron drilling claws. Yeah. Reactor on the factory here. He's got to be very careful, because against Hydras you just want those big tank counts. Very low drone count still here for Serral. Clem is shooting up in supply. Now you might be wondering why that is, and that's because Serral built so many links in the mid game, which didn't really do anything, right? Like these 45 links that he built could have been 20 links and 10 more drones, but instead we saw that very big big link count that really didn't manage to catch the Hellions. And now the Hellions are back and they have a plan. They turned into Hellbats. Is there any mines with this push? No, there's 2 tanks. Are they here? No, they're back at home. We're going to be trying to defend whatever run by Serral's going to have set up, but Serral is like, nah, I don't think this is time for a run by. I think it's time to completely crush or push, as we see Serral roll in. Hellbats are being split. Good micro here coming out of Clem. Not that many banelings are remaining. Pretty decent trade for Clem, who's still up in units lost. Or down in units lost, but he's winning the units lost stat. I'm not quite sure how to say that. A bunch of creep also got cleaned up, but +2 is about to finish up here for Serral, and that should at least temporarily push back Clem's. +2 is a nasty upgrade, especially that Carapace upgrade also ends up finishing. Now there is a couple of Hydras out here, and once Clem sees that, I wouldn't be surprised if he starts producing more and more tanks. He's moving forward, both tanks in the same position. Not a massive fan of that. Mine not quite shooting, moves a little bit forward with drilling claws, of course, easy to place in a different location. Interesting flanker coming out of Serral, but with these superior upgrades manages for a pretty decent cleanup, I would say. Still, worker count is low, fort base is up for Clem as well, as we have +2 carapace about to finish up here for Serral. Oh, interesting move command there. Mine not ready to shoot. Overseer not morphed yet. With no Overseer over here, so that's not going to be much of an issue. This was a bad trade here for Clem, who I think is still ahead. We see no hive coming out yet. We finally see that 6 gas going down, so perhaps infestation pit is in the plans now for Serral, but only on 75 workers. 3 more barracks on the way. Should be a 5th CC coming down soon as well. See Clem with 6 gas, big Ling run by coming in, will most likely morph into a couple of Banes, try to get some SCVs, but see income relatively even, and once those mules start dropping, which I assume he has a couple. There's 2 working, it's not that many. I thought there would be more. I guess a lot of scans are being used. I feel like this usually is better. If the worker counts or even this is better for Terran, creep is not that... there's not a big amount of creep on the map yet. The vastness of the creep spread is slightly disappointing, knowing that this is Serral we're watching as the fluorescent pink player. 5th CC is on the way right now, as well as +1 tank attacks. Now, we're still seeing mine production as well. This surprises me. We don't see this a lot against Hydras, where mines are used in combination with, or in unison really, with tanks. I'm kind of liking it. No mine spread around the bases though. We very often see that against Mutaling Bane, of course, to catch these run-bys, to catch these Mutaflogs. Nice little single drop. Actually clearing 3-4 tumors, which are going to be difficult to replace. Is there still creep queens? Yes, there is. What are they doing? They're on the left side. That's what I thought. Gonna need to rotate back to the bottom. By the time they get there, all this creep has disappeared. Serral still only on 5 bases. Clem also actually taking his 6th already, or building his 6th at least. But Serral finally managed to get up to 85 workers. We're seeing a hive start as well as burrow. And here comes little Clem. Clem moving forward, mines burrowing forward. Not all tanks are sieged yet, but he's getting into a good position right here. Flank being set up here by Serral from 2 sides perhaps. No, what is this army doing? He's afraid of something, but I'm not quite sure of what. Does Clem have everything here? It does seem to be the case. A bunch of units are here, so no reinforcements being rallied across the map. This is a good flank here by Serral. Coming in from 2.5 angle, I'd say, as a couple of Banes come from that top side. Won't be able to connect with really anything. Clem having a fantastic fight here off of creep. Serral does manage to clean up a lot of those Widow mines and a bunch of the tanks as well. There's no real splash in this army right now, and there's still a bunch of Banelings, but I'm not sure if it's actually gonna matter. Medivacs are running low on energy here, as there's only 5 on the map. 4 of those are over here, whereas that 5th one probably down in the natural. No, it's on the left side, clearing more and more creep. So opening up the potential to push towards this base, or at least have a very easy time denying these 2 bases. And then you look at the map and you think, well, what does Serral take at this point? Does he take this base? It's probably a little close to here. So Clem really playing for that longer game already, anticipating the potential 6th and 7th bases. And yeah, I mean, Serral's gonna try here, or no, he's just gonna poop here. You see Clem trying to take that base, as there is a CC going to try to land there. I'm not quite sure how successful that's going to be. We're seeing somewhat of a weird split army scenario where Clem has a big portion of his army on the right side of the map, potentially going to be denying any type of run by there, and maybe even a base here and there. 3-3 has finished up for Clem here, as we are still on 2-2 for Serral. Now this army is pretty small. Well, no, it's extremely small. This is 1/10 of the army that Clem has, it feels like. I mean, this is barely going to be 35 supply. Not quite 1/10, but you know what I mean. Yes, you know what I mean. Big run by here coming out of Serral. Not going to be very successful, as there's plenty of units around. Oh, these links are burrowing, and I don't think Clem realized what happened there. So might be able to come back later on with a vengeance and actually be able to do something useful there. I have no clue how this army is still alive. Like, this army seems like it could just get absolutely wiped at any given point by Serral. There we go. Decent Widow mine connections, nothing too special. Here we see nothing too great either, honestly. So Clem pulling back for now. Still has some tanks here on the right side. Serral has some setups there on the left side as well. Single link being burrowed here. Still have those links over here. I'm curious when they're gonna unburrow. Not now, it seems like, at least. There's a couple of decent pools. One tank does end up falling. Hydra's helping out a crap ton there, but I don't think it's going to be quite enough for now. Serral still 82 workers is good, but you're going to need very, very efficient trades if you're 82 against 76, and I'm just not seeing the trades being super efficient for him, as we see. Clem up a lot in trades, about 8k, so still ahead in that unit loss step. Now here comes Serral, all from one side. There's a couple of Vipers, but they're more of an afterthought than anything. We see one parasitic bomb being cast. Doesn't really manage to push it back in the way that I wanted this to be pushed back. A couple of mines burrowing, we'll be able to get pretty decent connections. There's a couple of links do end up falling. Scan, sees that there's no creep, sees there's no burrowed banelings. Of course, that's a big deal as well. Burrowed banelings can always be helpful. A couple of queens are falling here. What's the baneling count like? 20 banelings are remaining. We have 2 queens slowly but surely moving back. This queen's gonna inject, I guess. I mean, Serral does have the mining on the right side, and I would love for Clem to start doing something about it. He's been denying creep so meticulously on that right side, and yes, here comes the double scans, and this is what I wanted to see. This is exactly what I wanted to see. I think Serral saw the scans as well, and he's starting to reposition his army a little bit, as he knows what's going to be coming. Left base is falling, right base is going to be under attack very soon. There's 4 Marauders here in this drop, which means there's about 8 Marines as well. And these guys have a lot of DPS. Here comes the Ling run by onto that planetary, but there's 2 tanks as well. It's not going to be enough. This drop will be able to take out some of the Lings, but I think we're going to need to see a lift here. as we still see a slow march forward with the tanks, with the marines, with the marauders on that left side. And we see a double drop on the right side, a lot of damage being dealt here towards those links. Pick up, drop, Clem doing a good job here with these two medevacs. Meanwhile, slowly but surely pushing forward. Well, this isn't so slowly anymore, as I'm sieging all the tanks and spreading them a little bit in case of Blinding Cloud. Once again, Viper's not quite ahead of the army, not going to be able to cast the greatest Blinding Clouds here. We have a Ghost, perhaps an EMP could help out. Here we go. Finally, before the fight starts, we're seeing one Blinding Cloud covering 2 tanks and then 2 abducts, but a little bit too hesitant here Serral is, and the Blinding Cloud pretty much wore off. Then he started engaging. There's a single Ghoster, not going to be able to do too much. I don't think he's sniped. Tanks doing so much damage as Serral's supply is absolutely plummeting. The 2 drops on the right side have been cleaned up, but so has the entirety of the Zerg's army, as we see Clem being ahead in 13,000 resources in the unit loss tab. Continues absolutely blasting out unit after unit. What is the production like? 8 barracks, 3 factories, and we see a very healthy planetary and orbital count. 4 orbitals, 4 planetaries, and we see another command center being built right here. There's 1 extra command center here, there's another one here, so a couple of extra orbitals would not be a bad idea here for Clem, who is still max 2, still has a bank, and slowly but surely pushing on that right side of the map right now. There's a lot of medevacs here, 11 medevacs, a lot of contrast with earlier in the game when he barely had 5 and had trouble healing his units. Now, this army is so small, he almost has personal healing. There's still a small marine drop or a marine run by, whatever you want to call it. On that left side, we see the links moving into that planetary. Not going to be enough. Oh, a little bit of a cleanup here by Serral, but Serral's gonna need insane fights from this point on. We see orbital being built here, and I mean, what's Serral gonna attack really? He's gonna be down a base. I feel like, yeah, even this left side base might just fall here. 9 workers going down, 10, 11, 12. Clem playing the game of a lifetime right here. There's a single Liberator on the right side as well. Got 7 kills, completely missed that. It's gonna re-siege to try and trick Serral, but Serral has been playing StarCraft longer than just today and does not fall for it. But all of these little run-bys, they do allow Clem to get into position. Serral has seen it all. He GG's out, and Clem wins this game. Now, if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, as it helps me a lot. If you didn't enjoy this video, also subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can see when to not watch my videos. Thank you all very much for watching, and hopefully see you all next time. Don't forget to smash like. Bye bye.